Welcome back to the second half of the Bobby Dupree Show, and of course my sidekick, who invariably, it appears I overlook introducing in the first half, but that way you see, I know he'll stay because he wants to be introduced.
Acknowledged.
Acknowledged
yes.
and introduced, so he'll stay for the second half.
The bad part, I only got paid the second half. See, if you don't see my name in the first half, I don't get paid.
That's right. You're just a character up there. We showed a lot of pictures. We have a lot more pictures. And let's not forget, if you don't see the picture you're looking for, go to the photo gallery, and that'll be on probably pretty quick. I think
within about 24 hours of the show on Thursday.
On Thursday, it's on the show. Let's take care of maybe a couple of our obituaries. We sometimes wait till the very last, and we don't quite do what we'd like to do, because we just really talk about the deaths of people we know pretty well, so we can talk from the heart and talk to their family members. Like this particular person is Hal Guillory. Hal worked right at 45 years, if I'm not mistaken, at Opelousas General Hospital. One morning back in the 80s, I was getting some blood work done. I'd go about 6 o'clock in the morning, because you can't drink coffee or anything until after you do your blood work. So I'd take him. I knew he was there at 6 o'clock. I was one of his first clients there that day. And one day he says, you know, I noticed you're not having this PSA prostate test taken. He says,
and you had reached age, you used to say in your 40s or
something
50s,
like that.
It's time to start getting it checked.
I said, what is that? So he explained what it was, and I said, well, you mean I'll have to go to the doctor and get him to do that? No, he says, you have a pen? He said, just make a little circle around it. And since that time, I've never failed. I do my blood work twice a year, and I do the PSA, and they remind me, well, you know, your insurance is not going to pay but once a year. I said, I want it done twice a year.
To make sure.
To make sure. And anyhow, you know, you remember little things like that. And
if you had blood work done and you went to the general, it don't matter what age you are, no matter what color you are, everybody went through him at some point. You had to go in front of him when I was a kid and everything else. So.
And he became a Elks Club member some 10 years ago, and very well respected, liked, and he enjoyed the company. He had retired, and you know, he just was relaxed. And anyhow, I was able to go. They had a 12:30 Elks service. The Elks members are honored upon their death. And Lindsay Lee, our leader at the Elks Lodge, has the whole service memorized. I mean, he really does a good job. I went there Tuesday night to personally thank him. And you know, he just does everything so well at the Elks. So, and we had a large contingency of members that attended that.
Hal's very, very well liked guy.
Yes, sir. And of course, something else about the Elks on that Franklin Kerrville, thank the members for letting him attend one of the big national conventions, and he gives a little report of what took place. Then there's a special notice here, and at the last meeting on July the 19th was announced that a committee was appointed to look into the possibility of the Elks' ability to purchase Toby's Little Lodge right next door to where we are right now. Final details have not been worked out yet, but they will be. And then on our regular meeting, which is on August the 16th, that's this coming Tuesday.
Correct.
This coming Tuesday. If you're interested in learning more about the possibility of this taking place, well, then I strongly suggest, because they're going to probably
the idea would be to move the lodge from middle of downtown to the old Toby's Little Lodge.
That would be the object of the committee, and they may report that it's not feasible. I don't know.
They're working the numbers.
So but if you have an opportunity, come by. I know I'm guilty. I hardly ever stay for a meeting, to be honest.
You go by, you get a little cold drink,
and
you get a
we
meal,
pick up our meal. That's the Tuesday night. They hold the meetings on Tuesdays. So it's very important that all of us, not all of you, all of us attend, and that includes you.
I'm an elk.
Yep. You want me to get one more? Otis Lomanick the third.
That's right. An accident on the farm is what I understand. Sugarcane farming.
Don't know the details, but to his mother Linda and his father Otis, I can't say that I know the young man. He was living in New Iberia, and that's where the services were held. Our very deepest of sympathies. And I'll get one more. And you asked me if I had heard about Johnny Barra's death, and I understand that he was found dead. He apparently was alone for a couple of days, and when they started missing him, they went to find him.
Someone saw him that evening and then didn't see him the next morning. And of course, you don't want to just knock the door down when somebody isn't there. Maybe they're busy or they got friends or whatever. And I think it went a couple of days before they found him and found out he had been dead a few days.
Only 52 years old. And of course, Otis Lomanick III was only 42 years old. So two young men from the Opelousas area originally passed away.
How about one more? You want to hit Mr. Irwin Sabile?
Mr. Irwin Sabile. Very interesting story of his life. He earned a master's degree in physical education. Well, I didn't earn a master's, but my degree was in physical education. A master's in behavioral science, and a masterate and doctorate in environmental science. He was USL football player, USL defensive coordinator, on and on and on. Quite a life. And he was living here in Prairie Ronde. And I don't recall
ever... At the Casilla Center.
Oh, at the Casilla
That's
Center.
My understanding was he did a lot at the Casilla Center. I don't know if he didn't actually live on the premises there. And of course, you and I know his brother, Winford.
Exactly.
Who was assistant superintendent of St. Larry Parish Schools underneath your brother John when John was the superintendent.
So many families have,
a very well educated family.
Lowell Sabile, I'm sure that's the first cousin, first, second, third cousin. And that whole Cankton, Bristol area, somewhere's in there, there's a Sabile relative in the marriages and all. And it's kind of like my grandmother and my bloodlines in the Washington Grand Prairie area are the same way. My grandmother was an Ortego and a Fontenot and married an Ortego. Well, that makes us kin to most of y'all there. That's right. And it was the same way. He was a real fine fella, our deepest of sympathy.
And boy, he looks like Winford too. When I saw the picture, I was like, wow. Good morning, Prof, as we used to call Mr. Winford and Miss Velma.
Yeah, they call him something like that also.
Oh, they're all well-educated guys.
Yep.
How about this? How about another sponsor? Let's go with LHC Group. All your home health care needs. LHC Group can help you involved in all kind of great projects around. I know some of the stuff I got with cleaning up the Tesh came from some of the LHC Group type people. They're involved in all that. And right now with the Veterans Memorial that's going on, that they're working on that, I saw that.
In other words, they're the ones that gave it a shot in the arm. The project was really creeping along slowly.
They got you in action when you saw that they were that committed.
They put up $100,000.
When you saw they were that committed, you said, well,
I can do my share.
It makes everybody get moving. So LHC Group, all your home health care needs. I'm talking about the therapists, the nurses, the equipment.
Don't forget the fitness center.
The fitness center, health and wellness center, right here on Heather. They've got palliative care. They've got hospice care as well, all throughout the United States. Louisiana Healthcare Group, all about helping people. And one more, Piggly Wiggly, locations throughout South Louisiana. 2 in Opelousas, right here on Highway 182 North, and of course right there on Heather Drive as well. They got locations in Church Point, Rain, Scott, Cecilia, and St. Martinville. And right now, whole fryer, 79 cents a pound. Bottom round steak, Angus beef, $2.49 a pound. You can't go wrong. Go buy the pig. The pig knows best.
Well, Scotty Lejeune is the owner of the Church Point, and he has a McDonald's, I think it is, inside, and possibly a Chevron station.
No kidding.
He's the person that owns the Chevron station in Opelousas. Not too many people are aware.
The one on
Cresswell. Right off of I-49.
I got you.
Been there, very successful location. You know who works there?
Who?
Harry Gabriel's wife, Miss Ella.
Really?
Yeah, she's one of the shift commanders,
right.
shift supervisor.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Next door to Danny's Tire World.
Exactly. So, Scotty, keep up the good work, young man, and he's got other locations beside that.
Well, I'm going to sneak another sponsor in because I'm having such a good time. Steamboat Warehouse. Get mama away from the smell of her own cooking. Go to Steamboat Warehouse. Everybody likes to go there for a nice toddy in the afternoon, especially on Friday afternoons. It's a good crowd that you'll recognize probably everybody there.
Well, you trying to say you're going to see your uncle.
See my Uncle Fuzzy. Definitely. He's always there.
And then I'll add Steve Hartman to it.
Steve Hartman will
and everybody else.
And you walk out on beautiful Bayou Catawba and have a nice libation. You better see the great, they got the steamboat wrecks in the bayou. You also see where the great party barge wreck happened a few years ago with Bobby Dupree. A lot of good fun has happened around the Steamboat Warehouse. Just a great
Gordon
area.
LeBlanc.
Gordon LeBlanc.
Answered, I asked him, I said, something's wrong. It's not going in reverse. He looked, Bobby.
Think
you knocked the motor off.
Just nice and quiet. You never lost his tip.
Good morning to the LeBlancs.
Anyway, Steamboat Warehouse, great seafood, great wine selection, great steaks. Second to none. And best of the best chef for 6 years now running.
Okay, let's do...
No.
I need to talk about something that's going to take place Friday, August 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that would be not this Friday, but the next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be professional fights over at the Cypress Bayou Casino.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be the first time that they have professional fights taking place. So we ask anybody that's interested in boxing and want to keep it alive and going and good, please try to make that over at Cypress Bayou Casino. I'm sure it's going to be I know the program is going to be good, and I'm sure the venue where we're going to actually hold the boxing matches, I think I went into that room one time,
and
it's nice and big.
The town is Baldwin.
Baldwin, that's correct. And of course, rock hard mighty Mesa Menard will be fighting Joseph Mandingo Laro. That's a
new name.
That's a new name. That's a Mexican there. He comes right across the border. I bet he's got his green. He better have some kind of green card. Green card.
Oh, you know, it's all legit.
So anyhow, Chad Broussard and Mr. Collada, they're known for bringing in some good, exciting entertainment. Let's call it that.
Sure.
And so please mark that, and of course we'll remind you one more time.
If Mama don't like the boxing, there's plenty of gaming next door. Right?
Well, that happens.
Dr. Kerry Thibodeau, if you're looking, somebody asked me this week, they said, I saw on television, I saw an ad that there's only one doctor in all of Acadiana that does varicose veins that's board certified. I said, no. Dr. Kerry Thibodeau, right here. You don't have to go way down south to find anything. Don't believe all that stuff you hear that only this guy, that guy. Dr. Kerry Thibodeau, right here in your own backyard, does varicose vein surgery, vascular surgery, wound care, appendectomies, breast biopsies, gallbladders, colonoscopies, the whole thing. You know, you go see your GP, you want to see a general surgeon, you got a choice. The GP might say, I'm comfortable with this guy, I'm comfortable with that guy. Why don't you say, well, how about Dr. Kerry Thibodeau? Because you and I, we've seen the work he's done with a lot of our good friends. I know I had work done. He was not the sitting physician. One of his partners was, and he still came in to make sure everything was good with what was going on. So Dr. Kerry Thibodeau, anything you need right here, over 20 years of general and vascular surgery here in Opelousas.
On Monday afternoon, I was at the main office of OPAC Financial Service. By the way, school loans are moving along real good. So if you're needing some few $100s, a couple of $1,000s maybe, to get your kids back into school with the proper clothing, and you know they have uniforms in some schools, and just getting all the materials.
There's the fees. Every school's got fees.
Right.
Every public school has fees.
And our OPAC offices across South Louisiana have the money to lend. So
just cut the brand new crop of money. The money's fresh out the field. It's ready to go.
Ready to go. Well, while I was in the office Monday afternoon, a young man by the name of Spencer Venable, a recent 2011 graduate from Opelousas High, had been awarded one of my scholarships. And I had
KSLOC, another side of 3.
Had the opportunity to talk with him for a minute, and found out